This episode of Another Happy Pod is going to contain spoilers. If you've not experienced the content yourself, please go ahead and do so before coming back and listening to the boys ramble on about it. Thank you very much.
I had a joke I was going to start and now I can't remember it. Fuck.
It's okay. Remember your joke. It's fine.
Oh, cheers, Lawrence. Now I'll remember it. Now that you've told me to remember it.
Nathan, it's easy. Just remember the joke.
Oh, if it were me, I would just simply remember the joke. Hello, you lovely listener, and welcome back to Another Happy Pod, the show where we talk about pop culture, but trying to do so in a more positive light. We don't always succeed, but we do have a good time doing it. My name is Nathan, and as always, I'm joined, sadly not in person this week, but still with him in spirit. It is Lawrence, the I see. Hello, good sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening indeed. I'd like to apologise for the time that we are recording this. It is my fault. But we are having a late pod. Sadly, again, like Nathan said, not in person, but we're in the e-space today. And that was that.
Anyway, so
why do you always do this?
Well, I didn't do it last week because I was too nice to you because I was with you.
Yeah,
and I feel like this week I have to make up for that.
Your guard was lowered.
Exactly. I couldn't bully you in person because I'm a coward and I couldn't look you in the eye and be mean to you. So now that we're separated by hundreds of miles and Discord, now I can, kick you in your balls.
Well, you can definitely do that one. Yeah, the first one not so much, but you can definitely call me that. Yeah,
I called you that while I was there, but
that's true. You did on air. Was that? No, yeah, you did the intro, didn't you? Yeah,
definitely did on air. I always do, but don't tell anyone else that.
I won't. Nathan,
either you or me will bleep that out. It's a flip of the coin. Speaking of flip of the coins,
segue.
But not yet. So we I just meant not specifically that movie, but I am getting into it.
Oh, I know. I was with you. I took part in that whole journey.
So we watched 3 movies this week. Three movies. Okay, what did we watch, Lawrence?
We watched the Dark Knight trilogy, comprised of Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Doing a Rise.
You can tell that the idea to call it the Dark Knight trilogy very much came later in the game.
I thought that. When I switched on Batman Begins, I was like, this is the odd one out, isn't it?
Like, it really is.
For a few reasons, which we'll get into.
I'm sure we will. So, yes, possibly hailed as the 3 greatest Batman movies of all time, the 3 greatest comic book movies of all time. The quintessential Batman trilogy, as people will often describe it. Coming out of the gate, hot take, overrated as fuck.
Oh no! Oh dear me.
People say 3 great movies. I say 1 great movie, 1 movie that's fine, 1 bad movie, and 3 terrible Batman movies.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. You've got me intrigued. I was low energy, but now I'm interested to hear what you got to say. I agree that a segment of them are overrated. I think The Dark Knight is indisputably an amazing movie. I think The Dark Knight Rises is a good movie. I don't think it's just fine. I think it's good. And I was
not talking about The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh no. And I think so we differ on opinion. I think Batman Begins is really boring.
I think Batman Begins is fine.
You heard it here first. Anyway, next week we're going to be doing
all right, so let's jump into this then.
Okay.
The year was 2005. Christopher Nolan was just a young British maybe boy coming out of doing other films like Wizard Fight, and here he is directing a Batman movie.
Yeah. Here he is indeed. Firstly, I do have to give props because we obviously view these movies a lot of the time as like we know them now as the Dark Knight trilogy. We know that it's like the grittier, realistic Batman, the one that made Batman not a joke.
Yes.
But to do that and to take it seriously is kind of an interesting take and an interesting feat that has shaped Batman comics for decades to come, which is
Yes.
impressive. But I think this first one. Let's go with Batman Begins. Obviously, I think this is
Well, yeah.
I think this is a weird film, and
I
think
also think it's a weird film.
yeah, I think the first half is great, and the second half is really really boring and definitely a different movie to the first half.
I most likely agree. However, I'm not a huge fan of the first half either. Maybe I don't like this movie. We'll figure it out. All right. So I'm assuming. Well, you've obviously seen these before. What's your relationship with Batman Begins? Like, where do you stand with that?
I don't remember watching Batman. My first memory of watching Batman in the cinema was in 2008 when I watched The Dark Knight. Had I knew of Batman because I was a kid.
Because
who
didn't know of Batman?
Well, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was on holiday with like a family friend. And like I was there. My mum and dad weren't there. They were doing something else that evening, and we got taken to the cinema to see this. And I don't think the person that took us quite realized the extent of the gore and the murder in this film. I think they were like superhero movie, like Iron Man.
Wait, this one or Dark Knight?
With the Dark Knight. So that's my.
How old would you have been then? 2008. You'd have been what? 12?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mad. Yeah, it's a bit crazy. But Batman Begins, I have no idea when I first watched this. I genuinely have no clue.
I do remember seeing this in cinemas.
I was 35.
I was just going to say I was a young man of 42. So as a kid, this is true. As a kid, my favorite movie was Batman and Robin.
Oh no!
I fucking loved Batman and Robin. It's obviously a terrible movie, but for kids, it's great because it's dumb, it's colorful, it's all that shit.
Is that the one with bat nipples?
It's the one with bat. Well, the last two both have bat nipples, but yeah, it's one of the ones with bat nipples.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was obviously very excited to see a new Batman movie, but I don't think I liked it at the time because I was like, oh, well, that's nothing like Batman, is it? It's not really fun and campy how I remember it. But over time, I obviously grew up and became a dickhead. So to like
you appreciated cynicism more.
I appreciated cynicism and cinema and Christopher Charlie Nolan or whatever his name is.
And we'll get to him because I think he does some things that annoy me.
He does some things. boy, he sure does love women, doesn't he? No.
Oh, he loves them big time. You can tell.
He hates them. He hates women.
No, don't say this.
It's very clear. Let me just quickly start off before we get into the movies themselves. I'm so fucking sick of Batman. Yeah, I'm. Oh my god! When I was watching Batman Begins and I was just being force fed the origin story again, I was like, I fucking know. All right, I'm so sick of seeing this piece of shit, fucking depressed billionaire forced. Do you know why I don't like him? Because he's a fucking Mary Sue. Okay, people always complain about, Ray had no training and she could fly the Falcon or any of that bullshit, or a woman picks up a gun and suddenly she's trained in combat. Like, imagine a woman fighting, the fucking absurdity of it. But Batman is the most ridiculous fucking Mary Sue ever. Batman is like, oh, he can do anything. Why? Because he's Batman. Fuck off. No. Give me a fucking reason for it. Write it down and don't be lazy. You fuck. Oh, I hate him. I don't hate him. He's a good character. It's just that his fans over the years have grown into this group of annoying cunts. And, and the culture around him annoys me. But there we are.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. I always dispute the Batman could do anything he wanted with prep time. It's like
Yeah.
there is his money is measured by numerical figures. If I was to tell Batman to be richer than he is, he couldn't do that with prep time. Little things like they wind me up.
Yeah.
Right. I guess I don't know, because this is the one you said was fine. What's fine about it? Why isn't it not great for you?
I mean, it's just a standard run of the mill comic. I'm sure for the time it was, because it was new, as exciting. It changed Batman, and I will give it props for that, because obviously, Batman just was pried from the fucking corpse of fucking Joel Schumacher's fingers, and he pretty much tanked the franchise with Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. And obviously, those are jokes of movies. As fun as they are to watch as kids, they are almost unwatchable if you go back to them now.
Yeah.
But this really did breathe new life into it. It was a serious take, gritty, dark, which at the time, great. It's not as popular now. It's kind of fucking boring, to be honest. But at the time, it was a bit of fresh air, a bit of new life into Batman. So for the time, great. By today's standards, it's a little dull. It's a little by the numbers, I would say. Why is Liam Neeson playing Ra's al Ghul?
Yeah, that's something, isn't it?
It really is.
Don't get me wrong, right? I like him, and I've got a note that says him and Michael Caine, respectively, they do well.
Michael Caine is the goat of this trilogy.
Oh, he is. And I think they both do well. But I like this movie it sits weirdly with me because the first half, bearing in mind, I haven't seen these movies in about 5 years, just because I think everyone's watched The Dark Knight so many times that it's tiresome. And then watching let's say, because everyone goes, right, I want to watch a Batman movie, and you're not going to watch Batman Begins or The Dark Knight Rises. You're going to put on The Dark Knight if you're that eager to watch a Batman movie. Because it's
or
the
you
best
could put
one.
on one of the other 10.
Yeah, exactly. But my point is, once you go to The Dark Knight, you don't then go back to Batman Begins or The Dark Knight Rises, because you go, well, I know they're not as good. So I haven't seen these two in a long time. And for the first half, I was sat there like, this is great. I really like this. I think the pacing is nice. I think the storytelling is good. They do this really interesting thing where I think they have a flashback. And the flashback lasts for so long that you kind of forget it's a flashback. And then when it cuts forward, it feels like a nice refresh and a nice change of pace.
Yeah, and that's classic Nolan. Always just playing with the fucking flow of time.
Yeah, and again, genuinely, I think that any other director couldn't really have brought this back in the way that he did. And I do think his style of filming these films changes drastically by the time The Dark Knight Rises gets into play. But what I really liked is the concepts that are explored. They're not done through traditional horrible exposition scenes. They're introduced really naturally through great conversations. There's a conversation with Thomas Wayne about what you have to do for the little guy. And actually, speaking of, Thomas Wayne is just a big Gotham City expo dump.
He is. You was just when you was talking about there's not really many exposition scenes, I immediately thought of the train scene where he was like, and here's the entire history of Gotham, Bruce.
Yeah.
You who have lived in Gotham for 10 years, here's the history of this city that you live in.
What I love about that scene is Bruce Wayne turns around and goes, "Did you build this train, Dad?" And he's like, "No, but you know who did? Oppression." Just
Side note. You can say whatever the fuck you want. You can write in whatever reason you want. There is no fucking way on earth a family of billionaires would be riding the fucking public subway in a city that is that ridden with crime. Are you fucking kidding me?
No chance.
No chance.
Even but you even see later on in the trilogy, Bruce Wayne doesn't even open his own fucking door.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fully with you. Gotham is a thing in this that Gotham has a real stylistic choice in this film, and then later on just looks like Chicago.
No, I have a note. It's specifically for The Dark Knight Rises, but my note is Chris Nolan needs to decide if Gotham is Chicago or New York. Because for the first two, it's Chicago, but then for The Dark Knight Rises, it's exclusively New York, and it's very apparent.
I think Batman Begins not Chicago or New York. I think Batman Begins is a weird gothic take on a city, which is clearly every time you get a panning shot, it's CG. Because
Yeah.
it's because he's sat there and he's like, oh, there's gloom and there's fog because it's Gotham and it's mysterious and crime ridden.
It's definitely the most stylized in Begins. It's
Yeah,
definitely the most like traditional Gotham is,
but
and it doesn't go full tilt with it. It doesn't go like full Gothic architecture, but it definitely has little elements of that.
yeah, and then the opening scene of The Dark Knight is just like like the Joker.
Chicago.
Yeah, the Joker walking around Chicago like city, and it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, man.
Yeah, and the Wayne Tower changes in all three movies as well.
Oh, every single one of them. That man,
Yeah,
he also cannot decide where he wants his Batcave. Like,
I kind of do like the proto in between Batcave from the Dark Knight. But anyway, Batman Begins. That's what we're talking about.
all right, tell you what, I like this. I like the League of Shadows. I
Yes.
think there is very much so a case of, um, perhaps some stereotypes. Um,
Yeah.
which is not always the nicest. But I like the arc of Bruce going there, Bruce training, the conversations. Liam Neeson saying, you're not as like cowardly as your father, kind of thing. And he's like, you didn't know my father, and he's like, no, but I know you. I like all that kind of spiritual shit with Batman. I think it's cool. Um,
I also like the League of Shadows stuff for the most part. Anyway, it's a nice. It's because I think the reason I like it is because it's different for a Batman movie. It's
yeah,
not what you would usually see. So it is quite a, like I was saying, a nice change of a bit of fresh air, a bit of new life into it,
yeah,
which was quite refreshing. The bit I'm not a huge fan of is, well, obviously the whitewashing, but also
yeah,
also the fact that because obviously he's given a final Bruce Wayne has given a final task to kill this man to serve justice, and then
yeah.
he can like officially become a member of the League or whatever. But he refuses to do it, obviously, because Batman, famously has his rule: he will not kill. That's the line he won't draw.
Yeah.
So he says no, he won't do it. But then he just proceeds to kill everyone else
Yeah, yeah.
in the fucking League of Shadows. He just blows up the entire place and doesn't really seem to have an issue with it. So
No.
that was a bit weird.
Yeah, and he made. I could forgive it if it's more classic movie of like Batman doesn't kill people, but he doesn't. He definitely like kind of like. I mean, even the movie says, "I don't have to kill you, but I won't. I don't have to save you. I won't kill you, but I don't even have to save you."
Hate that.
Yeah, it's a bad line because it's just fundamentally like that's the one thing you don't write around.
Yeah.
Like,
You just
but
killing
anyway,
as well. It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
straight up murder as
yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like if I, yeah, if me and a hitman come to your house and the hitman shoots you, I'm still there. Like,
Yeah.
um,
If you're just dangling off the edge of a cliff, and I very easily could help you up, but I don't.
yeah.
I've killed you. So
And
that's
Batman fundamentally understands that as well because in the Dark Knight, the Joker's like, I didn't fucking kill Rachel. It wasn't me. I didn't, set the charges. And he's like, yeah,
yeah.
but it's your plan, kind of thing. So he gets that. Yeah, the thing I tell you what, the thing that bothered me about this,
Yes.
that really like, because again, I hadn't seen these in ages. The thing that got me was Batman's first on-screen fight in this, like
Yes.
as in Batman's, not Bruce's in like as a ninja. Um,
In the costume, full on
in the
Batman.
in the costume is just cloth and camera movements. Like,
I kind of like that though. I do kind of like the first fight. You talking about the one at like the shipping containers thing?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I like that because again, it's the fear of it. It's you get the quick moments of him dispatching the guards. It's like moments in the Arkham games,
yeah,
where the guards are walking around and you can just swing down, grab one, pick one up, pull them away. And then as you keep doing that, the guards get more progressively terrified and scared and start to like act out and shit. It was kind of that, and
but I
that's
think
why I
you.
liked that moment.
But do you not think you get that? And then when it gets to the full on fight, it's then just more of like Batman trying to be like, my cape is in your face. But they're like, in reality, they can all see him and they're like, what are you doing? Like, because I do love the bit where like the guard goes over to the shipping crate and you just see a cloth just go and take him in.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff's really sick. I really like that. It's the stuff that when he gets caught and he's like in the middle of them and there's like every angle has got him covered by a gun. and
Yeah.
then it just gets super close up, super quick, super shaky, and just cloth cutting across the screen. I was a bit like,
There is, yeah, during some of the fight sequences, there is a lot of cuts, like a lot of quick cuts, which is
yeah.
pretty unnecessary and kind of seems weird for Nolan.
And it's
Um,
it no, do you know why? It's because Nolan famously cannot direct hand to hand combat. Like
I'm always, whenever I think of Nolan combat, I'm always reminded of the infamous fight in Interstellar between Matt Damon
yeah.
and was it McConaughey? Just
Yeah.
two very out of shape dads just tussling at each other in
Yeah.
space. Oh, it's not good at all.
No, it's not. I like the idea that the League of Shadows has been like working for as long as anyone can remember. Like, I like the fact that they were like, who do you think like infested London with like the plague?
Yeah,
When they got too big for
burned
their
down
boots.
London, I believe
Yeah.
it
Oh,
was.
that was it. Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
wasn't there something even as far back as the Roman Empire? They said.
Yeah, they was talked about the fall of Constantinople and Rome as well, I
That's it.
believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is pretty sick.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
it is. It's definitely an interesting narrative. Yeah.
I like the fact that there's like the Roman Empire can't stop this man, but you know who can? Bruce the billionaire in a bat costume
Exactly.
and his daddy's train.
Do you know why I think I do like this movie? I mean, like's strong. It's fine. But I think the reason I'm a little bit more lenient on it than you, I mean, you might agree with me, I'm not sure. But I think the best part of this movie, I mean, the cast, first of all, the cast is really good. Well, I'm not a huge fan of Christian Bale, but for the most part, is quite top tier.
Yeah.
But who I think shines in this almost more than anyone, Cillian Murphy as Crane.
Oh, he's great, and he looks so young as well.
He does. He looks so young. I think maybe because I think last time I saw him, it was in A Quiet Place, and he looks fucking rough
Yeah.
in a Quiet Place. So I think it was just a big shock. But yeah, he looks like such a little boy.
He does, but he is good. He's very good in this.
He is really good, and I think the kind of like nightmare and fear stuff they did with him as well, like the fear toxin and the way that's shown us how it affects people. I think that's really good as well. Like the moment when the fear toxin is flooding the city at the end, and then Batman's just like flying or gliding above the steam, and then you see like what people see, their perspective, and he's like this big demon sort of thing. I think that stuff's all really cool.
Yeah. Oh no, that is. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I think that's the moments where the movie is coolest. I think the Bruce Wayne. It's funny you say you hated the return of like the the orphan Bruce Wayne outside the theater, Joe Chill, all of that stuff. Yeah, no, and it does come with its like tiresomes, but the moments I think are the strongest in this is when it embraces the stupid superhero stuff, which it does at the end.
Yes.
And the very beginning where it's more of a character study on who Bruce Wayne is and setting the stage for the main trilogy. There's a really weird in between bit and somewhat towards the end where I'm just like, this is fucking boring.
The moments where it's strongest is when it is Batman, when it is an actual comic book Batman movie. And I think out of all of them, this is the most comic book Batman. The rest, it's difficult to call these movies a Batman adaptation because everything is just so fucking different and down and it's not, in terms of adaptations, it's not a good adaptation of Batman. That's a hill I'll die on. It's not.
But good movies, I think, for the
Good
most
movies, yes, that's what I'm saying. The Dark Knight is an incredible movie. It's a bad Batman movie.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's
speaking of, do you want to move on?
Joffrey Baratheon.
Yeah, oh yeah. The kids at school won't believe me. So Batman's like, here's a piece of my wrist or something. Throws him a thing, which if that kid is lucky, he kept and then sold for millions.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just quickly go over a few of my notes on Batman Begins.
Go for it.
Hate the Batmobile. Don't like it at all.
Okay.
What do you think of the Batmobile?
I don't mind it. It's more of a war tank.
It's a tank, yeah.
Yeah, and they make that joke. I think in this universe, a stupid sports car with big wings wouldn't have looked good.
I mean, yes, that's true, but I still don't like it.
Yeah, fair enough. It's not for everyone. I personally think it's fine. I don't mind it.
I think there's the scene where he's doing the car chase, where he's got Rachel in the vehicle, because she's been poisoned. And he's trying to get her back to Wayne Manor to give her the cure or whatever. And there's a big like police chase going on as well. And he puts on like when he's on the highway at the end of the chase, he puts on stealth mode, but then nothing happens. Then he just
Yeah,
turns it off, and the cops see him again. And I'm
yeah.
like, what was the point in that? He was in stealth for like 5 seconds, and then the cops were like, "Oh, there he is." All
He
right,
needed, he
let's
needed
carry
to
on the
breathe.
chase then.
He needed to breathe for a second. He was like, activate stealth mode. He just sat there and was like, oh, this is tough work, you know. What I always
Exactly.
find really funny, there's multiple. Have you noticed that in this, there's only one scenario where you see Batman return to like Wayne Manor or the Batcave or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's because I just think Chris Nolan, there's only so many ways you can write that the cops lose sight of him. You
Yeah.
can't show Batman driving up to Bruce's driveway and being like, I'll just get out of here. Like, so there's like one
Yeah.
occasion where it happens, and even then it's because Rachel's there and it's the plot, which is quite funny.
Very much so. Another quick note: he 100% killed cops during that car chase because
Yep.
they were
Oh,
just flying
million
all over the
percent, yeah.
pair. Yep. And the last one I have here. So during the end, when you see like the wreckage of Wayne Manor when he's with Rachel, or whatever, there's a note here. Well, that's clearly just the English countryside in the background.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's clearly just like Yorkshire moors or whatever it is.
It has a really that grounds has a really similar feeling to the X Mansion in
X
First
Mansion.
Class.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is quite funny.
Is it the same one?
I don't know, but I also I misspoke. I guess the X Mansion in First Class has a similar feel to the Batman Begins.
Oh,
Wayne
yeah,
Manor,
fair,
yeah.
fair.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go ahead to the Dark Knight. Arguably, and as everyone knows, by far the superior movie of the trilogy.
Easily the best movie of the trilogy. Like I said, I'll put my feelings on the Batman, which is weird because it's a Batman movie, but I'll put those feelings aside for the moment because on just a movie viewing experience, fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
Really,
oh,
I
absolutely.
had a really good time watching this. The other two, not so much. This one, I really enjoyed watching.
Yeah, I think this has got like a constant stress to it. Like,
Yeah.
and this is one thing that I love about this, is that and it's the editing as well. Like, this is edited in such a chaotic way. Like, for example, I think famously the Joker appears in the first scene and then you don't see him again for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you're sat there going, what the fuck's he doing? And that's a long time in a movie that is this quick paced.
Yeah.
Like, a lot happens in 20 minutes. So the fact that you don't see the Joker is weird, because like when it cuts back to him and you see him again after that, you see him like once every 10 minutes at least,
Yes.
for the rest of the movie. So it's cut in a way that is so intensely stressful, and it really adds to like the kind of the chaotic element, which is like the plot's unpredictable. The Joker, obviously, his whole thing is, you know, introduce anarchy, chaos, etc. The film really leans into that, which I think is part of the success of it.
And right away, that opening bank heist scene with you know the four Jokers or whatever, and then it's revealed at the end that this is the main Joker. It's just so well done. Just
Yeah.
I can't find one flaw in it, but for the most part, it's just really well done and really fucking gripping. The way they're just killing each other off one by one, and then the way one of them cottons onto it is like, well, obviously, if they've killed each other and I killed him, well, then someone's going to kill me, and just the way it all plays out is just really well written and comes together really well. Why doesn't that guy spit out the gas canister?
I know. That's bothered me for like a decade. Like, just the fact that it just puts in his mouth and he's like I think the idea behind it is that he's so struck with terror by the Joker's, like, you know, unmasking, and he's like, you know, but at the end of the day, we know the Joker and the fear behind it because we know the Joker and the character of him. We go, oh my God, this is clearly a terrifying moment.
Yes.
As far as this man knows, this is before the Joker has reached like fame in Gotham for
The
being
Joker's
Joker.
not known at this point. This is just a guy in makeup.
This is a mentally ill man with face paint.
Yeah.
And I think the idea is that he's meant to be so terror struck that he just leaves it in. He could just spit it out and just, I know
could
he's been
easily
shot, but just etch back a little bit.
I mean, I understand that you might be a little scared, but he's a fucking mob boss at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, I
I
I
don't I
can't
don't
buy the
think you're
fact that he'd be so terrified that he couldn't spit it out. They're just
Yeah, and I think you lose your right to say this man is terrified when he is the only person that gets up with a shotty and just starts offloading.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Weird moment, but like I said, just a minor blip in an otherwise phenomenal sequence. Even the fucking timing of the bus coming out in the fucking row of school buses, the debris clearing off from it at the right point, so that by the time the cops come past, it's just another normal school bus. It's just so well done, so well made. And I give Nolan a lot of shit, okay, because
You
I
do.
think it's funny. Because that's why I think it's funny, and I think it's funny to wind up people who love Nolan a little bit too much. Um, but but fucking fair play, because this is really well done.
I think it's just a very airtight script. Like
Yeah,
it's really well thought out. Like also Hans Zimmer is pulling his weight when it comes to this movie. Like the score in this is genuinely off the rails. But yeah, no, yeah, Chris Nolan, it is just a tight script. Like there's not really a single plot hole that you can point at, and this is tired because like people have been praising this film for decades
yeah,
or like over a decade,
yeah.
and it's just like there's actually not that many flaws to discuss.
There's not necessarily any plot holes. There's definitely some nitpicks and some weird choices and moments. Gas
Yeah.
canister being one of them. One other thing I do like, and this goes again for the Dark Knight Rises when it happens again. I like that Cillian Murphy comes back. I like that he's this just kind of reoccurring, just essentially a Batman rogue, really,
Yeah.
who just keeps popping up. And I do like that he comes back in the movies.
Yeah, no, he because he pops up in all three of them, doesn't he? And he's very much
Yeah.
so just like every time you see him, he's just like, I'm just going with the flow. Like
Yeah, he's just getting
whatever's
by.
happening, yeah, whatever's happening in Gotham, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah,
Like, one thing that like if we're gonna do that, because I think the only way to talk about this movie is like we can talk about what we loved, but everyone's spoken about what they loved. There's a funny thing that I picked up that I've never noticed before. So
Yeah.
there's a scene where Batman, and I believe it's just after something big happens. I don't think it's just after Rachel dies. I think it's after like someone. Oh, it's after the fake out with Jim Gordon's death.
Yeah.
And it's a cut that says like God help whoever he does want to talk to tonight. And it cuts to a nightclub of the mob boss, and he's just in his nightclub.
Yeah.
Sprouting
And
off.
Batman's just killing or fighting
And
guys.
I like it, right? I like it, but the choice of song makes it crystal clear that Chris Nolan has not been clubbing in over 30 years.
What was the
Like,
song?
it just this generic
Uh,
yeah, and it just I don't know why, and I think it's because some of the punches sync up. It looks like it's a fan edit, and it makes me laugh every time.
I quite like that moment. I don't know. There's something about Batman just fucking beating the shit out of guys in a nightclub, which I think is funny, and I
Yeah.
quite like.
It's very John Wick-esque, that scene.
Yeah, yeah, it is very much that kind of over the top bullshit.
Yeah.
One thing, this is mean. I don't want to. I'm just gonna say it anyway. This is a very mean note that I've got, but fuck it. Maggie is not as talented as her brother.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. I disagree. I think she's great in this.
Really?
I do. I think her
Oh.
character leaves something to be desired.
Massively.
but
Recast from Katie
Katie
Holmes in the
Holmes.
first one.
which is good because I will testify that she is about as wooden as wood.
I thought Katie Holmes was a lot better than Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Really?
Yeah, I thought, to know, there was just something about Maggie that was kind of strange and a little over the top. And that she has that line like, God, Harvey, you're Gotham's DA. If you're not getting shot at, you're not doing your job properly.
All right,
There's something about it. It was just, oh, that's really weird. I
I
don't like
get
that.
Do not blame the actress for she has it's you can't dispute it. She has the worst lines in the trilogy. Like
does.
she gets given all of the like she gets basically she's there to be like Harvey Dent is great. And Harvey Dent is personable. And Bruce, here is the difference between you and Harvey. I'm going to tell you right now, and you will understand it. You, the audience, I mean Bruce. And it's that is her entire point in this. I do think that
She
despite
also another classic example of Hollywood fridging, which for those who don't know is the act of killing off the female role in your movie in order for the male character to feel pain. There you go. Famously done in Deadpool 2.
I mean, it's kind of done in Deadpool 2.
It's exclusive. It's the main plot of Deadpool 2.
Yeah, but then it's undone, and then it's a fake out kind of thing.
No, it's done in Deadpool 2. Even Ryan Reynolds has joked about it himself. It's one of the bad things about Deadpool 2.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't know. Because I do think it's more than that. Like personally, I don't get me wrong. I do not think her character has a fair run at all. And I don't think she's given much good material.
I don't think that it helps that she's a new invention either, because Rachel Dawes is not a character in the comic books.
No, not at all.
And I don't think that helps things. Batman doesn't have a lot of love interest. I mean, there's Selena Kyle, she comes in later. There's Vicky Vale, kind of. She's not in these movies. So it is hard to give him a love interest. So I can see why they would have invented one. I think they just kind of shot themselves in the foot a little bit with it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You can tell that they didn't really know what to do. But I think her death is way more than just Batman needs to be sad. I like the fact that it's a scheme derived from the Joker, and it's a way that, like the Joker intentionally lies about which address he gives Batman and all of that. And I
like the chaotic nature of the death. I like the fact that the Joker lied and the tragedy of the moment when, Bruce Batman opens the door and you see Harvey and he's just like, no, what the fuck are you doing here? You need to go get her. Why are you here? And you can hear the pain in his voice. I like that. I still think it's just, no, we got to kill her. Batman's got to be sad.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from. I do, and it's difficult because there's not much of a defense for this character because she does nothing, other than like you're right, show up and be like, I'm very capable at my job. You'll have to take my word for it. You'll never see me do it. And Bruce and Harvey, you two are different, and here's why.
How long had Rachel and Harvey been dating? Because I get the sense that it wasn't that long, that they were kind of just starting out in their relationship. But then she dies and he goes off the fucking rails. He goes off the rails like they have been together for years. But I get the sense that it wasn't that long, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, because I think this as well, because it's given the point of, firstly, Bruce has never met Harvey before this film. And
this is about a year after Batman Begins.
Yeah. So he's never met him. Obviously, they're not together. Harvey wakes up one morning and it's just Maggie Gyllenhaal instead of Katie Holmes, and he's like, "What?" But yeah, no, because you get the sense, because they hold hands in the restaurant and he has that line like, if I was sneaking out at night, someone would have noticed by now. It's kind of like a new thing. It's like an established, like that's a way of telling Bruce, we're together kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it does, and he does, perhaps he does overreact just a smidgen.
I think that's one of the. I mean, again, it is hard to find bad points with this movie, but I do think that is one of the bad points. Two-Face, okay, love the design. The design is fucking incredible. Absolutely the best Two-Face design ever
for 2008 as well. Like
exactly,
it looks great.
It looks incredible. It's difficult to look at. It's uncomfortable. You can see why Gordon looks away every time he's like looking at him, because it's creepy. It's fucking horrendous. And the pain that Dent himself must be going through just having that fucking exposed flesh and everything like that. Really fucking well done. The character, I think for me it just leaves a little bit to be designed, and I think again this is coming back to, it's not necessarily Dent from comics Dent. It is kind of Harvey Dent Two-Face in name only, really.
Yeah,
They've
yeah,
taken the aspects, they've taken the design, the the DA backstory, but they've kind of just then created a new character altogether with it, which is fine. You absolutely can do that, and if it works well, great. But the whole way he just overreact, well, if you can call it overreact, I personally think he is overreacting. I mean, it's hard to say someone's reacting about the death of their girlfriend. That's fucking harsh. But
I mean, it is
it,
when it's a superhero movie. Like, I get that it's like his motivation for going off the rails, but
yeah,
I think if in real life, like partners die, and then you decide, I'm just gonna go and threaten some kids tonight. What
I
do you
am
reckon?
going to become the Joker.
I'm going to become the Two-Face. I like
Yeah,
it.
it does seem just a little bit like he goes crazy for no reason, really.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a fair point. I think also it's because it comes in. It's supposed to be a twist, and it's supposed to be the last fuck you from the Joker, who is
Yeah,
obviously the main antagonist of the film. So when it
yeah.
comes as his final, like, Bruce is like, Bruce is there, like, you lost, Joker, because the people on the ferry are good people and they love people like me, and I see the good in people, and you're the Joker. And then the Joker's like, but not yet, Batman, because I've done a thing with Harvey, and he's like, oh no, what have you done? And then it's meant to be the last resounding. The Joker left a mark that, like, despite the fact that the Joker lost and wasn't a physical match for Batman, his plan didn't go exactly according to it. He still
Yeah.
left a lasting stench of like corruption on Gotham that does have an effect in the later movies, and makes. And I think that one of the greatest things about the next movie is that they really lean into the fact that they had to tell a big porky pie. um,
I think at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. Fucking Joker, while he did not physically win, while he didn't, beat Batman or whatever, he psychologically, mentally, he did win, and I think he even says something to that effect in the movie as well. Like
yeah,
at the end of the day, Gotham from now on, it's stained because of this day, because of what happened. The legacy
yeah,
is stained, and clearly Gordon and Bruce know that because they have to fucking create this lie and pretty much destroy Bruce's life in order to keep the faith and all that sort of stuff. Heath Ledger, I mean, what can you say that hasn't already been said?
yeah. Obviously,
A
like,
fucking absolutely incredible performance. I do kind of have the opinion that his death is kind of the best marketing this movie had, which sounds harsh. I don't necessarily think it would have been popular had he not died, but I think it is still, you cannot take away from what he did, because it is just an amazing performance.
yeah, I agree, and I think, whilst I don't, well, again, I can't speak to it being like a marketing tool. I don't know how much the studio were like.
I don't, by that I don't mean like fucking Warner Brothers were like, although it wouldn't surprise me, but they weren't like, come see the fucking last movie Heath Ledger did. They weren't. There was nothing like that. I
The
just mean in the
posters, like
fact,
the new Suicide Squad, where it's like people are dying to act in this movie.
yeah, there was nothing. I remember it well. There was nothing like that. I just mean in the fact that obviously people wanted to see, people were interested to see this role that Heath did before he died and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
and I think this is like, I like this role because this is the role that. And it's great because of the fact that it was, obviously tragic that it was his last role and so young to die as well.
Wasn't
Um,
actually his last role.
no, but as in like the biggest thing like that he
Is
could have done.
the last role he did was this weird, and he never finished it. He died during production. But it was this weird fuck. I can't remember the name of it. It was like Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium. That's not the name. That's a different movie entirely. But something to that effect. And then they had to like finish his role with like Johnny Depp and then a few different actors and they wrote in like a shape shifting aspect of it or something. I don't know. I can't remember. From what I heard, it's not a good movie though. I never saw it. But
Well,
yeah,
this to me, I say last because this is, although I didn't know that in fairness, that I say last. This is the full stop on his career, like,
yeah,
quite clearly. And what I like about this is it's for such an iconic character that again can get very, very tired. This
yes,
is he raised the bar, and if his legacy is anything, it will be a very, very tough act to follow, which is
That, and
incredible.
which has been proven because
Yeah,
since Heath we've had two Jokers. In my personal opinion, none of them up to scratch. No one, he is the best on screen Joker. And while okay, yes, his on screen Joker did give us annoying dickheads at Halloween every year dressing up and doing the fucking terrible impression and saying, "Do you want to know how I got these scars?" It's annoying. Stop doing it. You're shit at it. Okay, stop doing
yeah.
it now. It's still a fucking great performance.
I can promise you that your frantic tongue movements do not make a good impression. And that's something as well. Like I guess because and again, this is I will not be the groundbreaker to say this. I will not be the first person that's mentioned this. The nuance and subtlety of his performance goes like often people are just like he plays crazy so well, such a great Joker.
I don't think he's crazy though. I would
No,
argue
he's
that
not,
he's not
and he's
crazy.
no, and
I
he's
think
not.
he's very intelligent and he knows exactly what's going on at all times.
Which is evidenced by the fact that when things are a news to him, the
Yeah.
frantic ticks and stuff they stop. He's digesting information. He's not focusing on playing the part of the Joker
Yeah.
as this man is.
He's not the mad, maniacal clown who will just burst out laughing and gun down a room of people because he felt like it. That's not this version of the Joker.
Yeah.
He's definitely more methodical in what he'll do. Sure, he may do stuff to make it seem like chaos and anarchy and doing things just for the fuck of it, but I don't think that is this character at all, though.
I think it's one of the best pieces of dialogue in this, where basically there's just such a keen. But basically, he says, "Do I look like a man with a plan?" And Harvey's there, and this is the moment that defines Harvey for me because he should know better.
Yeah.
And he should know that he absolutely has a fucking plan, but his emotion gets the better of him, and he leans into the Joker's bullshit, which is eventually what corrupts him, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's really. I think and this is kind of dumb, but my favorite moment from the Joker in this movie it's towards the beginning when he goes to the room of like all the mob bosses and whatever, and he's got the coat full of grenades, and everyone just sort of like backs up as he's like tugging lightly on the string, and one of them goes, "You think you can just steal from us and walk away?" And he just goes, "Yeah."
Yeah, yeah,
Just no emotion behind it. Just I can.
yeah. You think you can still possibly walk away? Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, I
just
do.
sounding bored by it.
Yeah. Oh, he's great, and there's like the fact that he had like a say in the design of this like character. He obviously crafted this, and I think not to give credit where it's due. Like Chris Nolan, this is. Obviously, a lot of this is down to his work as well,
Yes.
and getting an incredible performance out. And I think, like, there's a reason this film is so iconic and held up in such a high standard. And I think a large part of that is the performances and the direction of these characters. I have always said, whilst Heath is amazing in this, he is supported so intensely by Aaron Eckhart in this movie. Like,
Yeah, who's Den, isn't it? Yeah.
Den, who I think is. Like giving, yes, he's doing completely different things, and his performance is far less noticeable because he's not the one in the room going with his fucking mouth and tugging on grenades and shit like that. But his performance is easily on par with Heath Ledger's, in my opinion.
Don't know if I agree, but I see where you're coming from.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I do see where you're coming from, and he is good. He is definitely good. I'm just not quite sure he reaches the heights that Heath does himself. What was I going to say quickly? Yeah, I like how Joker, again in that same scene with the mob bosses, he calls the guy who's not there, he calls him the television. He just calls him the television. That's very funny. I enjoy that. So there's the hospital sequence. I think the conversation that Dent and Joker have, that moment of corruption between the two characters, it's just a fucking great moment, and you can just the way you can see just the wheels turning in both of their heads, even down to the fact that I genuinely think Joker is just fully prepared to die at one point. Like, if the coin does land on the dark side, he'll be like, well, fair enough, that's how it's turned out, guess my time's up. He's just fully prepared to go ahead with it, which I enjoy. I do think it's hilarious that Dent doesn't notice him until he pulls down the mask.
Yeah. It's dumb. It is dumb.
Yeah.
But it's again, like, it's just one of them moments where, like, I can only assume it was like an afterthought, or like
Yeah.
I can't explain it. It's weird.
It's because it's very clearly the Joker. Like
Yeah.
the mask is only covering up to the nose, and then you have the whole like face paint and eyes going on. It's very clearly the Joker, but whatever. And then as well, there's the famous destruction of the hospital sequence moment. Now, a lot of people, and myself included, up until very recently, believe that the moment where the hospital is destroyed, it pauses. The destruction pauses midway through it,
Yeah.
and the story is that was unintentional. The detonation went wrong, and that Heath Ledger improvised the tapping of the remote thing again, and then somehow miraculously it worked. That's not the case. It was actually planned to go that way.
Yeah, I think because whilst I never saw that confirmed, whenever someone told me that, I just went, but it's too well timed, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
and again, it's one of them things where it's like the people that saying this, I think, are the same people that like playing the Joker killed Heath Ledger. He was just
fuck off.
he reached such intense levels in the middle of a scene that he dropped dead. Like, no, like
No.
acting doesn't kill you.
Look, method acting is weird, and I don't like it, and I don't think it's necessary at all, but it's not going to kill you.
I think the thing with method acting, I think if it's the way if it's your process and it's the way you've been trained, because it's way more of a classic method. If that's the way you've been trained and that's the way you do things, and it's good, and that's fine if that's the way you want to do things. But keep yourself quiet, lock yourself in your trailer,
Yeah.
come out for your scenes, and go. It's not an excuse to be a cunt to everyone on the set.
That's my thing. I feel like with method acting, you're making everyone's job so much harder.
Yeah, you
Because
are.
like, there's on a film set, it's not just actors, there's so many crew, fucking people just trying to get the job done, lighting, technicians, fucking whatever. There's so many people just trying to do their jobs. And it's difficult if there's someone just like, oh well, I'm gonna kill these people.
Yeah, and it's never written, and it's always cringy. Like,
Yeah.
imagine a scenario where they're like, Heath, we need you in the makeup chair, and he's like,
Who's
"Oh."
Heath?
Yeah, yeah. It's just- and there's some intern there, and they're just like, please fuck off. Like,
It's and you know what it is? It's exactly the shit that fucking Lita was doing. All right, it's the fucking I'm the Joker, baby, so I'm gonna send you a fucking condom. All right,
Yeah.
have that. Like, why? Like,
Yeah.
is this really helping your performance? You was in the movie for fucking 5 minutes, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, he thought he was in it for longer, but it's
Well.
like I said again. Whatever your reasons, it is not an excuse to be a cunt.
Exactly. Exactly. But Christian Bale will not take that. He will be the biggest cunt on the set.
Oh yeah, he's a colourful character.
He is. You know what I love about that Christian Bale rant? That even when someone has like caused him to break character and snap, and then he has to just physically yell at someone for like 2 minutes straight, he's so much of a method acting cunt that he still uses the fucking American accent. He
Oh, I
can't
know.
use his regular accent to do it because
it's-
he's so method.
And it's become almost like a meme, isn't it? Like oh, good for you.
Oh, la-di-da-di-da. Yeah, it's...
Do I just come into your set and fucking rip your lights down? Oh my god. What a dickhead.
What a dickhead indeed. I don't like him. Anyway, yeah. Heath, great. Joker, great. Dark Knight, great. Thumbprint, bad. Makes no sense.
Give it to me again.
The bullet thing, when they're getting the thumbprint off the bullet and then like reconstruct it with like lasers and guns.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's Batman. There's going to be shit that just doesn't make any fucking degree.
Also, on that note, Batman, the world's greatest detective, which essentially in this movie boils down to, where's the Joker? Where's Riddler? Not Riddler, Rachel. That's all he does. That's all his detective work. He just screams and yells, where is things?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very true. Yeah. The Batman, the greatest detective that ever was. And he's so good at finding things out. He just screams in people's faces. I tell you what, though, I do like the moment where it's, I think it's Moroni or like one of the mob bosses, one of the Italian names that is used as a mob boss name. Yeah, he says like, from one professional to another, a fall from this height wouldn't kill me, and Batman goes, "I'm counting on it," and then just drops him and breaks his leg. I think that's a cool moment. I like
Oh,
that.
that reminds me. Call back to Batman Begins. There's obviously so during the flashback sequence when you got a youngish Bruce and he was going to kill Joe Chill on the day of his trial or whatever, but he didn't get the chance. And
Yeah,
then he makes the decision to leave Gotham, so he buys that homeless guy's coat. Which, whatever, that in itself is fair enough. But then a couple of years later, when he's back as Batman, that same homeless guy is there. And he's just like, nice coat. It's a bit weird, it's a bit cheesy, but whatever, I'll forgive it. What the weird thing about that is, was that homeless guy just watching the entire fight? Just that entire time?
he was
Just
just other. Bearing in mind these mob bosses are all armed, they pull up in big scary cars, and he's just the entire time he's just by his little bin fire, and he's like, "I wonder what's going on over there."
yeah, like they're firing guns all around them, and he's just there like, yeah, this is cool, man. That's where I
He's
live.
like, "If I have to make another bin fire somewhere else, I'll be fuming." So he's like, "I've made my bin fire for the night. I will sit here."
Yeah.
I don't know what a bin fire is.
You could have at least bought him a home, Bruce, you fucking cunt.
Yeah,
Anyway.
exactly. Like man walks into a restaurant and he's like, "My models want to go swimming." Also, you can't buy a building by giving a check to a waiter.
Well, that waiter could very easily just walk off with like fucking $60 million
Yeah.
or whatever.
See ya, best night of my life. And then he could very easily turn around and just say, "Oh, I was under the impression it was a tip." Mr. Wayne,
Yeah.
Mr. Wayne had a few drinks. I didn't. What he said was illegible.
Yeah.
I went and cashed my money, and I'll see you later, baby.
I can forgive the cheesy Bruce Wayne stuff though because it is an act. Like
Oh,
it is
I
supposed
like
to
it.
be an
I
act.
like the slimy Bruce. Like, like there's the moment which I think is great, and every time it cuts to him and he's playing the billionaire playboy Bruce version.
Yeah.
He's just got such a shit-eating grin on him. But there's one line that's perfect. He was like, "Exactly, who appointed the Batman?" And it's it's just like, I want to kick you. You're so rich and annoying.
What I do, Alfred is great. Alfred's got a lot of great moments. I really like the first of all, the relationship between Bruce and Alfred is obviously great. I do like the little moment where like Bruce is planning to turn himself in, and he's just like, "I'm gonna tell him the whole thing was your idea," but before that, he's like, "Go on then, Alfred, you can tell me. I told you so." And he's like, "No, Master Wayne, I won't do that." But I did bloody tell you so, though, didn't I?
Yeah, it's great, and I think this movie has it's a noticeable step up in terms of like the interplay between those two. Like in this movie, they really feel like they're like old friends that have known each
Yes.
other for years and years. In the first movie, I didn't buy it that much.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah. Ed Nemode was right. No capes.
Okay, yeah, big time
Because
yeah.
fucking hell, he is moments at any given moment when he's riding that fucking bike, he is seconds away from just being sucked into the back of that thing.
Oh, big time. Although knowing Batman, he'll probably have a failsafe that it's like cape eject capabilities or something. I think
Yeah.
I think this movie is the start of Chris Nolan's obsession with doing shit in the air. Like I think
What do you
this
mean?
movie, I think because he has the sky jump with Batman.
Yeah.
He does all the SWAT team rappelling into the skyscrapers. I think this movie, Chris Nolan finished this movie, went home and turned around to his partner, if he has a partner, or just himself in the mirror, and just went,
Or just a collection of DVDs.
yeah. He turned around to the concept of cinema, just a glowing gold orb,
Or a living room with no couches.
and he turned around and he said something along the lines of, "I like doing things in the air," and since then, in almost every movie, he's just been obsessed with doing a stunt in the sky, which is quite fun, and I do like it.
What was is there a sky stunt? I'm trying to think in Inception.
Good point, fair play. Maybe not actually.
Interstellar.
I mean, it's you could argue that it's in space.
Yeah, there's the moment where he's like spinning the thing around to lock on, so I'll give you that one. Tenet?
The building ship.
I don't remember enough about the movie.
Fair enough.
Gordon's kids' names are weird.
What are they called again?
They're called, so Gordon is called James Gordon. His
Yeah.
wife is called Barbara Gordon. His daughter is called Barbara Gordon. His son is called James Gordon.
I really like those names.
This isn't Chris Nolan's fault, but this is the first time I noticed it during this movie. I mean, I've always known that Barbara Gordon is named after her mum, but this was the first time I ever noticed his son was named after him, and I was like, that's very weird that both kids are named after the parents.
It's like it's Will Smith, Willow Smith, Jaden, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's just I get what can Chris do about that? Like, if he was to change that, he'd have a million people at his door. Like, oh, you know, the
We
son's
changed everything else.
Yeah, I know, but it's like I don't know.
He gave Talia al Ghul a fucking completely different name and life.
That's a fair point. It's a very fair point, and she's a character that you do not want to get on. Like, you don't want to upset her fans.
I am Marianne Cotillard. I'll stab you with this knife. Anyway, that is The Dark Knight, a great movie from 2008, but you already knew that.
You did. So I'm glad
Let's
it's the longest one we spoke about.
Yes, well, there was the most to say. Let's talk about this shit ending.
Oh, no. Okay. I just got off watching this. I just finished watching this.
I finished watching this a couple of hours ago.
I could have done with less close-ups of Anne Hathaway's bum.
I also could have done with less of that. To be honest, I could have done with less of the movie. It's long. It's very long.
It's a really long film, isn't it?
It's so long, yeah.
Yeah, like 2:45 or something. I think I like the plot. I think I think it's got a serious problem with pacing.
It does massively. Get rid of that entire opening sequence with a plane.
Yeah.
You don't need it at all. While it is cool and it is visually great, it's just completely unnecessary to the rest of the movie.
Cuts back to Chris Nolan explaining, but sky stuff to his glowing concept of cinema orb.
But we need to introduce Bane in a fun and interesting way. Okay, Bane. All right. The voice is dumb. We all know that. We all know that the voice is dumb. Okay. What I noticed, I've seen this movie a couple of times, and this is the first time I really noticed this. Obviously, when everyone's on set, everyone's saying their lines as they would do on set. Gary Oldman saying whatever he says, Christian Bale saying whatever he says. Tom Hardy will assumedly say what he says there, but then it's obviously dubbed later on in the studio. It's so fucking obvious that Tom Hardy is just speaking into a microphone. It's so fucking obvious that his lines are done completely separately in the studio. They do not mix well together at all.
No, yeah, and it's this is a problem.
Do you know what it's like? Sorry to interrupt. Do you know what it's like? It's like those moments in musicals in Glee when it cuts from like the talking stage to the singing aspect. That's what it's like.
Yeah, and you can so visibly tell.
Yeah.
This is, I think, at its core, a problem with Chris Nolan, and I would never claim to know better than Chris Nolan. He is, for all his flaws, and I think for some of his for some of his overhyped movies, I think the man has a very, very big problem understanding the art of sound mixing.
Yes.
And
he seems to have a chip on his shoulder about it. Like he knows better and you're wrong.
Yeah,
but mate, we can't hear it.
So so Tom Hardy's lines,
yeah,
and yes, it's blatantly clear that they're recording to a microphone. If the mannerisms weren't enough to give that away, it's the fact that they're like 10 decibels louder than every other fucker's line.
Yes, like the first scene is set on a fucking aeroplane, and fucking Peter Baelish or whatever his name is, he's fucking yelling to be heard over the engines. But then you can just hear Tom Hardy crisp as fucking apple cider, just saying whatever he's saying. Like and he's not struggling at all. Either that mask has some very powerful fucking speakers on it, or it is just clearly very overdubbed.
Well, so this will be good for an audio reference for the podcast listeners. So this is how it sounds when you're just having a normal conversation, you're somewhere else, and then Bane will reply and he'll say, "Hello, my name is Bane." and it's incredibly
Yeah,
distracting. It's
it
so
really is.
distracting. And also, yeah, just the fact that I watched this entire movie, which, and again, to reiterate, is a very long movie
Very long, the longest of the three.
with the remote control in my hand because I needed to continuously turn it up 20 volume points whenever there was dialogue and turn it down 20 whenever there was action, because this, I can only presume, was sound mixed by someone with Parkinson's, because
Brutal.
because because it is all over the fucking shop.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's really it's insane that it's fucking. I don't know what it is about Nolan. Like, I don't understand the chip he has on his shoulder about this sort of thing, but it comes up time and time again.
yeah.
People said it about this movie. They said about Interstellar. It's fucking all over the place, internet. It's just something that keeps on happening. But for whatever reason, he's like, no, I know better.
Yeah, and I'd imagine I don't think, like, again, I'm making light of it for a joke more so than anything. There's clearly a reason he does this. It's clearly an intentional choice. Um,
Yeah,
because you just because there's rules and regulations through studios. Like, for example, all color that goes through, like, Netflix has to be graded to a certain color spectrum, because it's in contracts, it's in a colorist job description. So I'd imagine stuff like this happens with sound, but for whatever reason, Warner Brothers is just like, they're printing off a new Chris Nolan contract, and they go, that whole thing about sound, just remove that. Chris kind of does his thing, and it's really, really weird.
yeah, it is. It is very strange. So what do you think of the movie overall? You quite like it.
I like it. I think it's long, and I think
Why?
so. I think it's, a lot of the things make it a natural progression. I think if you were to jump from Batman Begins to The Dark Knight Rises, you'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?" Um,
Well, yeah, because you missed out the middle chapter.
no, but as in, like, tonally, it's not the same characters. It's a very, very different thematic movie. Whereas to go from The Dark Knight to The Dark Knight Rises, I think so easily a movie, a prequel, not a prequel, but like the movie that came prior in a series, can get forgotten in favor of the new exciting idea.
Yeah.
And this is a movie that really respects The Dark Knight, and rightfully so, because I think they knew where their bread was buttered in the trilogy. But I like the fact that the movie, like, if there was a loose thread, not that there's many from The Dark Knight, this addresses it. If there was, a consequence set up in The Dark Knight, this movie deals with the fallout of that consequence. And I think it's a good continuation. I don't think it's a good ending. That is, I cannot stress that
It's a
enough.
bad ending.
Yeah,
It's really bad ending.
yeah,
I don't know if I would agree that it carries on everything perfectly from the Dark Knight. The stuff with Dent, yes, that's really well done, and I do like how it comes back to bite Gordon in the arse and all that sort of stuff. And he has the letter, and he's been living with this guilt. It's destroyed his marriage, his relationship.
yeah.
I do like all that sort of stuff. That's all interesting. I feel like the and I get it. Heath Ledger died, okay, but I do think it's weird that nothing is mentioned about Joker at all, because Joker didn't die at the end of The Dark Knight. Joker
Yeah.
is just strung up, and his story just kind of weirdly doesn't wrap up at all. He's just kind of left hanging, and that's the last we see of him.
Yeah.
And I think it's weird to have a character that created that much of an impact and is that iconic to then just not even reference him at all. Like it never even happened. Not even a mention of his name. At no point is the Joker mentioned or anything
I
surrounding him.
I
There's
think
the Dent
that's
stuff, yes, but there's nothing about Joker.
I think that's largely down to the eyes that they had on them as a studio to do something, and I think Warner Brothers opted to do nothing rather than do something that was wrong. Um, this was, one of the first instances in recent memory where a movie and a popular IP had, we've seen it later on, when Leia obviously couldn't be as big of a character as she was always going to be in Episode 9, and
Yes.
the eyes of the world were on that movie, going, "What are you going to do, JJ? Like, how are you going to do this?"
Yeah.
this was the first time I think a studio and a major IP had suffered the death of an enormous performance, and I think they just chose, to their flaws or to not. Like, I can't say that what they could have done would have been better. I don't know, because I don't know what the plans were, but I would imagine that they just went, I think it's more respectful if we leave it. And to an extent, I agree. It does mean that something feels off about it. In my head, the Joker's spent the whole movie in The Dark Knight breaking out of prisons. I'd imagine they put him in a fucking thing underground. I'd imagine they put him on some, took him off to a different country in some fucking hellhole somewhere to not be the US's problem. I mean, a line like that would have been fine. I think what they had in their hands was Heath Ledger's career and legacy and the eyes of the world, and they shit a brick and went, let's just not do it.
Fair enough. That makes sense. Again, I don't necessarily think it was the right choice.
Yeah, fair enough.
I feel like there should have at least been one, at least tiny reference or mention. Even not necessarily say what he's doing now, just at least mention what he did. Just bring him up, because there wasn't even that. It just felt very strange, and I think probably more so because I watched The Dark Knight and then the next day watched The Dark Knight Rises. So, it's probably just fresh in my mind, really.
Yeah.
It wasn't 4 years later. So yeah, I mean, that's probably part of it too. But yeah, I just thought it was odd and strange. Alfred speaks exclusively in metaphors and folk tales, but I like it.
Yeah, he really does. He is when Chris Nolan cuts loose with the pen. And just goes, you want a reference? You want a story?
You want an old story? You want to hear about a time I met a guy in Burma? Here you go. There's a fucking story for you. Yeah, you're right. It's massively just Chris Nolan showing off. But Michael Caine, he still sells it. It's really good from him.
Yeah. Because that's hard dialogue to pull off.
Yeah, and I do really like one moment I really like from this movie is the part where Alfred is just like, I just can't do this anymore. I just cannot watch you kill yourself. Like, I love you. You're a fucking son to me, and I just cannot stand by anymore and watch you put yourself through this. And so he just leaves. I really like that moment. That's a really powerful moment, I think.
It is. I like the subtext behind it. Then it's just like, Bruce Wayne, will you shut the fuck up about Rachel? She thought you were a fucking knob.
Yeah. I've got the receipts. I mean, not anymore because I burned them, but I had the receipts.
Her and Harvey had pillow talk about how you were a big fucking loser.
We all laugh about it in the group chat.
Yeah, you're not in it. I agree. I think that is a powerful moment. There's a few funny things about this.
A lot of funny things about this.
I think that Batman is really awkward in this. Like, for example, and that comes from that comes down to everything. That comes down to, this is a brighter movie than The Dark Knight and Batman Begins. Like, in terms of the setting, it's daytime for a lot of it. Yeah. And I think it's really funny. There's some scenes where the framing is off or the lighting is just a bit too bright on him, and he's just stood there and he looks like a 10-year-old going, "Mum, look at my Batman costume." But especially, there's one moment that really gets me. So The Dark Knight has this kind of cool moment, and Batman is, he's got the dad jokes, and he's not very quick with his one-liners. So the Joker goes, "Do you know how I got these scars?" And he goes, "No, but I know how you got these." And then he fucks him up with his wrist things. And that's cool, and I like that. In this, Bane goes, "You've come back to die with your city," and he goes, "No, I've come back to stop you." and it's just like, I just imagine Bane being like, "Good one, bro."
Yeah. There's quite a few moments like that. I think anytime Batman tries to have some cheesy comeback line, it just does not work at all.
And it's because of the stupid fucking voice they're making.
Oh, the voice! What? The voice? It's a parody of itself.
Yeah.
By this point, it's even the fact that he does it with people who know who he is.
Yeah.
Like, it's just him and fucking Catwoman at one point, and he's still doing the voice. Like, she knows who you are.
Yeah.
Stop it. You
Also, in this,
fucking...
in The Dark Knight Rises, everyone knows who the fuck you are.
Yeah, I was gonna say, secret identity is fucking out the window at this point.
Yeah.
How did Bane know? It seems like
Uh,
one of those things where, like, he knows just because the plot needed him to know.
I agree, but I think it's likely down to a connection through the League of Shadows or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah, probably, actually. Yeah, that
Like,
makes sense.
but then still, even then, the timelines don't match up. Like, it doesn't. Bane would have been long gone by the time that Bruce was ever a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hand wave for me. I'm just like, whatever, who cares?
Yeah. Bane is, again, voices dumb. The character's okay, I guess. It's not really Bane, and it is a whitewash. Again, because Bane is
Yeah,
traditionally Mexican. So it is strange to have Tom Hardy's good. I'll give him that. The
I
fighting
think
stuff is good, but
I think Tom Hardy's one very physically threatening in this.
yeah, he's
And
big. He's biggest he's ever been.
he is very big. And I think that they do a lot of work to make him feel like he is physically Batman's superior. Like Batman
Yeah.
has finally met his physical match.
The fight scene between them in like the cage or whatever, that one's good. That's a really good fight scene. The one towards the end is fucking awful. But the
Yeah,
one in the cage where he, like, physically breaks his back, that one's really good. Like,
it's
really fucking good.
it is good, and I like that every Batman just pulls out all these tricks, and he's like Batman pulls out a smoke bomb, and he's like, nah, but Batman, yeah,
theatricality.
yeah, and Batman turns off the lights, and he's like, nope, I eat my carrots, man, I can see you, like, I like that every kind of trick in Batman's arsenal. He's just like, I know this, I know that one. What are you gonna do now?
Yeah.
Like, what's
Yeah.
next? Uh,
Exactly. It's that weird thing, though. It's that weird thing where two people go to have a fight and one of them is just clearly so much better and so better trained and just clearly a physically better match, a better fighter, that he just fucking trounces him. And then they come to fight again later, but because this guy's the protagonist, this time he wins. Like, there's no reason why he should have why Bruce should have won the second fight.
so I think the reason I disagree with that is because when he's in the prison, they make a very big stress about how the Protector had his mask, like, he was in immense pain, and the mask keeps the pain at bay. In the first instance when they fight, Bruce is just bruting him. Bruce is trying to, like, smack him in the like in the ribs, trying to wind him, trying to punch him in the face just to down him, that kind of stuff. He's going at it from a brute force capability because he's never met anyone he can't punch to death, essentially.
Yeah.
In the second fight, whilst I agree it's not clear at all because, again, Chris Nolan's fight choreography leaves something to be desired.
Especially, I would advise anyone to just watch that final fight, like the one with all the cops and everything fighting, and just instead of focusing on Batman and Bane, just look at some of the
Yeah.
extras in the background because it's really funny.
They are just flailing.
They are just lightly tussling against each other.
Yeah,
and
big
it's
time.
very funny to watch.
But yeah, no, in that when he comes back, he goes straight for the mask straight away, and incapacitates him. Like, it's I understand because it is a very much a Hail Mary of, like, we need this guy to win now.
Fair enough.
And yeah, so he goes for the mask. I do then think it's funny that, like, Bane has been like this force to be reckoned with. He's like, I've got a nuclear bomb. I could also be holding the trigger for all you know. And Catwoman comes in and she's like, just shotgun to the wall.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if he fell on the trigger. Imagine.
That would have been very funny.
Yeah.
Was Marianne Cotillard just ready to kill herself and Bane?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I read it all the time as, like, more of a spiritual journey because she even said, like, the knife that waits for the moment is the one that cuts the deepest, and like, I think it was her entire, like, journey, and then it got to the end of it and she was like, time to die.
And she kind of did just, like, die at the end, didn't she? She was just like, I'm talking, oh, but no, I'm dead.
Cinema's weirdest death scene.
It was very, very strange. Really, really strange. It's like a moment from a cartoon when someone just goes, as in like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm dead now. It was very just matter of the fact, like talking, okay, but now I'm dead. It
Also,
was
I like the my father's work is complete. No, it's not.
yeah,
Like
it's not.
you quite literally are dying in the pivotal 5 minutes that your heroes need you to die in, so that they can
Yeah,
save the day. You know they have a clear plan.
exactly.
You're gonna die, and things are gonna be fine.
So Bane is a nonce.
Bane is a nonce.
What's going on?
Yeah, the funny joke obviously is that Bane is a nonce. The intent is clearly that Bane was a watchful protector of this child. I do think it's creepy and weird.
It's
Um,
very weird. Also,
but
that child, when they show the flashbacks of the child, and at first you're supposed to think it's Bane, it's very clearly a girl at
yeah,
first.
yeah, I agree. And it would have been good if they did like a from the back of the shaved head shot.
Yeah,
They even got Joey King to shave her head for that. And it's just like it's so blatant that she's still a girl. Um,
yeah.
yeah, it's funny. It is funny. Um,
But
yeah,
whatever, Bane's a nonce. I mean, I like I see what they was going for, but it is just strange. Like this is a child that you protected and watched over, and then you fell in love with her.
yeah, very creepy.
Okay, weird, but all right, fair enough. Again, this has been talked about time and time again. And I guess it's just one of those things like you're not supposed to think about it, or it doesn't matter. It's not integral to the plot, even though I'd say it kind of is. But how did Bruce get back to Gotham?
Yeah, more hand waving for me. Like
Yeah,
yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a dumb plot. It would have been a lot easier and a lot more of an easier pill to swallow if like he had some of his extreme amounts of wealth and technology aid him in any way.
yeah.
But
But he didn't. He was broke at this point as well.
yeah, but he's broke. But are rich people ever broke?
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
he'd have an asset. He could, I'll give you this stock and also he's in like the darkest corner of like the remote world. He could have been like, do you know what Wayne Enterprises is? And they'd be like, maybe. And he'd be like, well, if you do, I'll give you 10 stockies or shares.
You don't
And
even own it at that point.
oh yeah, but they don't fucking know, do they? Like just
Alright.
just throw in a line like, oh, it's a good thing I did that business deal in that undescript place that looks like a desert.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. I know it's one of those things that it doesn't matter. It's not necessarily like fucking crucial or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like the fucking CinemaSins person, like, but it is very much a ding, like fucking
Bruce travels. Bruce
ding.
travels hundreds of miles and with no reasonable way. Ding. Um,
Yeah, it's weird, but whatever. It is what it is. So the Gordon and the mayor or whatever, for some fucking bizarre reason, decide to send every single police officer that Gotham has underground. Every single ridiculous,
well, the mayor,
fucking
the mayor, the
downright.
mayor, the mayor doesn't. He's busy watching the game.
Oh yeah, he's off to see the big game, and then he dies.
Yeah,
But they send every single police officer underground, which is just a fucking ridiculous idea. Other crime can happen, you know.
Yeah.
You want backup in case something goes wrong, but whatever. They're down there for 5 months. Five fucking months they are underground, and then they come out. Not one of them has a beard. Their hair is the exact same. They look just a little bit dusty. That's literally 5 fucking months they've been trapped underground.
that's a very good point. Yeah, and they're all in fighting fit condition. So
Exactly. They would have
these-
lost muscle mass.
these rations that they've been sent down there were just like 20,000 pork, like lean pork, like some medium rare steaks sent down. Yeah, for growing fit boys.
Exactly. And then they're broken out and they're just immediately sent to their deaths, essentially, to go
Yeah.
fight a bunch of lads with guns. Like, you don't want to see your family, you don't want to do anything else, but no,
Yeah.
Batman needs me to fight these guys, I guess. So
Yeah, because as we found out, Batman is famously a liar. Uh, one thing I do like, there's a couple of things that I think are quite cool in this.
sure.
So So
Because I have
firstly,
nothing else that I like.
I like the attention to detail that obviously Batman's been gone 8 years. The older cops know all about him. The older cops are the ones that speak about Batman.
Do you
And
mean JJ from JJ's Diner?
is he?
Yeah, it's the guy who owns JJ's Diner, JJ himself in Bugs and Rec. He was the guy in the car who was like, "Oh, you're in for a treat tonight, mate. Batman's back."
Oh God, of course. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was
Oh yeah.
JJ.
I like the fact that the young cop is like, what the fuck? Like this is crazy.
Side note: it's midnight.
Is it? Oh my
Yeah.
God. Fuck.
How long have we been recording?
About an hour and 20.
Cool. All right.
We'll wrap up soon.
We're fine.
Yeah. So and there's right. So yeah, it's a fun little attention to detail which I like. I think that Anne Hathaway and Joseph Gordon-Levitt do very good jobs in this. I like them. I know.
You know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'll agree. Joseph Gordon-Levitt as his character is good. Okay. His character as Blake. Leave the Robin stuff out of it. Why was that a thing? It was so fucking unnecessary, and it makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, it's very tacked on.
It's very just much wink and a nod fan service moment, but it's not even good fan service because it doesn't make any sense. If his name was Dick Grayson, or even if they just called him Jason or something for the entire movie, don't call him Jason Todd, just Jason, I could have understood that. But the fact that he's been called Blake Jenner or whatever he is for the entire movie, and then he's like, oh no, my real name's Robin. Like, what? Robin isn't called Robin. That's his fucking superhero name. That's like Bruce going, "Oh no, my real name is Batman."
I really like the fact that she's like, you should use your legal name more often. I like that. And he's like, but there's a reason I don't, because I'm an adult man.
Oh, it's bad. It's so bad. It's so dumb. I don't like it.
It's obviously a wink and a nudge. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I think Catwoman's funny because I think that a lot of the time she reaches for things with her feet when she could easily use her hands because she's Catwoman.
Much like a cat.
Yeah, yeah. But ultimately, I think she's good. I really, really like the scene where she goes in to sell the fingerprints to Owen from Torchwood.
Oh yeah,
and she, they try and one up her, and so she just flips round, uses this man's unconscious body with his own finger on the trigger to shoot these people. And then the SWAT team bursts through the door, and she just instantly becomes like a screaming woman. And they obviously just buy it, and then like they pass her, and she clearly has this just deadpan expression. I think it's really good. I think she had a really good grasp on this character, even if Chris Nolan didn't.
Yeah, I like Anne Hathaway as an actress. I think she's really good, and yeah, she is really good in this role. She's not given great stuff to work with, but for what she does it really well.
Yeah.
Even if she is sadly shot like an object for some of it, but that's not her fault. Let's talk the ending because it's bad.
Wait, really, really quickly, I'll say one thing. Do you like that Dr. Pavel? So they get to the nuclear thing. They get to the Greenpeace machine, and Bane goes, Dr. Pavel, do your thing. And he's like, okay, tinker, tinker, this is now a big mega nuclear bomb. Which like, I know the fact that Bruce Wayne was like, we have to sink this, it's not stable. Why'd you fucking build the thing in the first place? Like, why'd you do it?
Yeah, it is very stupid.
It's your money, man.
He really did just tinker with it for 5 minutes, and he's like, well, that's a bomb now. Like, All right,
Yeah.
I guess.
You know, this thing that a minute ago was going to like save, you know, the climate.
This was going to save the world 5 minutes ago, and now it's going to destroy the world.
Yeah, it is
Amazing.
hilarious. It's like, all right, he takes off his jacket, and the next scene it cuts back to him, and Bane's like, "This is now a bomb," which is very funny.
Oh, bad.
Yeah,
Oh, here's a note on that. Not necessarily on that, but kind of related. Where is it? Oh yeah, I'll read this to you verbatim. Smart thinking, Bruce. Shoot missiles at a truck carrying a fucking nuclear bomb. Why not?
yeah, absolutely. Very funny.
Very funny. I don't like that plane as well.
The bats.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
First of all, call it the bat wing. Don't be a dickhead.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's not a good design, I don't think.
Yeah, I think some certain angles it's shot from where it's flying, it just looks like a big slab.
It does.
Like it's just like, oh, here comes Bruce in his off-shapen Pringle plane.
Yeah, literally. It's just an upside down Pringle. Yeah. I don't like it.
Yeah, let's talk ending.
So the ending. So it's bad.
It is bad. It is bad.
It's really bad. I understand that, okay. I think we're supposed to understand that the movie isn't necessarily telling the truth when it's showing you Batman in the fucking plane, and then it shows you 5 seconds on the counter, and then it shows you the bomb exploding. I think that's what's supposed to happen, but cinematic language is something that's been established and is something that is given for a reason. You can't just then turn around and say, no, that wasn't the case, but then give no reason as to why it wasn't. Yeah. And then, like, if there was something that showed him getting out or showed that was a different clip or whatever, then fine. But the fact they're just like, no, don't worry about it. He got out. I'm like, okay, but how?
Yeah. I like the fact that he goes to oh, hang on. Sorry, I got sneezes. Yeah, I like the fact that Alfred also never mentions the name of the cafe in France. And Bruce is like, I guess I'll sit in every single one of them every year until I find him.
This has been said before, so this absolutely is not me. I think I first heard James from the Weekly Planet mention this, but it would have been so much better. It would have been a much better ending if they didn't allude to him escaping at all. They didn't just explicitly say it like they did in the movie. And then Alfred goes to the cafe, he sits down, he orders the fucking Cinzano or whatever he orders. He has a quick drink, and then he looks across. And then he like stares for a moment, he smiles, and then it cuts to black. That would have been fucking so much better than the just explicit shot of him and Catwoman. Because it's just unnecessary.
And again, it's clearly set for a 2-shot, and you don't see Catwoman. You just see Bruce, and he's there, and then it doesn't even cut to. There's no like reaction shot of they're fine and they're living a happy life together. It's odd. Like it's a moment where I think it was the ending of his trilogy, and he wanted to have his cake and eat it too. And thematically it doesn't work. And also, I think I like the idea that Bruce was able to finally let stuff go, but I don't think this version of Bruce, as long as crime was persisting in Gotham, and bearing in mind the city would be in fucking ruins.
Yeah.
Who put all them people back in Blackgate prison?
They glossed over all that very quick. They're just like, they
did,
now.
And I don't believe for one second that this Bruce wouldn't return.
Look, here's a statue of Batman.
Yeah, but the thing is, this movie has Bruce Wayne presumed dead no less than 4 times. Not this movie, this trilogy. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason why this Bruce would be like. I get the impression that Selena Kyle comes home from work one day and Bruce has got half of his costume on, and she's like, Bruce, we've spoken about this, and he's like, but crime, but crime's persisting. And she's like, you got to get over it now, Bruce. I just don't believe that this version of Bruce would ever turn his back on Gotham.
Yeah, it's very, very out of character and out of nowhere, really.
Yeah.
And from the character we have been given, it's just very, an abrupt left turn, really.
Yeah.
I don't like this movie. I don't like the ending.
Fair enough.
I don't like Bane. I don't like the car. I don't like the plane. I don't like the nonce jail. I don't like.
Anyway, this has been another happy pod.
I don't like the. No, I kind of like the football game sequence. That's pretty cool.
I think it's really funny, and I think it's really funny because it's Chris Nolan knows what he's doing.
Oh, I remembered my joke as how I was supposed to open the episode.
Oh, go on.
I was gonna go. Hey Lawrence, can we get some girls in here?
Careful what you wish for. Cut to Lawrence, an out of shape man, sat here responding to you.
Shout out to Ben Mendelsohn in the performance of his life.
Oh, he loves this performance.
There's so many British and Australian people just doing American accents in these movies.
There are actually,
like
aren't there?
Pretty much everyone is either British. Well, most of them are British. I think it's just Mendo who's Australian. But there's just so many British people, and they're like, "No, I'll be American now."
Yeah, it's Nolan. Nolan has like every decade that Nolan works in, he chooses like 4 actors, and he's like, "You'll do everything in this decade, and then I will drop you for a new set of younger people."
He never went back to Owen from Torchwood, did he?
He didn't. What the hell's up with that? Yeah, Burn Gorman is, not particularly.
Is that his name? Burn Gorman?
Burn Gorman, yeah.
What a strange name.
It is a strange name for a strange-looking man. But yeah,
he's good as Owen, though.
He is good as Owen. That's true. He loves shagging, and he loves shagging Gwen,
and he loves being dead. Or something.
He does. He spends 3 episodes telling me how much he loves being dead.
I'm bloody dead.
You brought me back for that. For that! Yeah, great.
And he also loves being a big fucking rapist with his rape fucking cologne or whatever he has. His rape aftershave.
And then, the next episode, getting annoyed at some guy because he went back in time and saw he got away with a rape. I'm like, bro, that's you.
Come on, Owen.
You're doing that.
You're literally taking away someone's consent.
Yeah.
What a weird... Anyway, this isn't the Torchwood podcast. That's coming later.
Oh.
It's not. Anyway, these are some movies. And I enjoyed one of them. Kind of liked another and hated the third.
Fair enough. I was bored during the first, but I liked some of it. I loved the second one. The third one I think is fine, but a bit of a wet fart to end a nice trilogy on.
So I think we would both say definitely watch The Dark Knight. You can probably just skip the other 2 though.
I don't know. Watch them all, make up your own mind. I mean, you've seen them. Seen them all.
Our famous rating system. Watch it or skip it. Hits it again. Make up your own fucking mind.
Yeah.
What a great and definitely not at all pointless system we have. Anyway, this has been another happy pod. Lawrence is going to do an outro.
I am, and thank you very much for the intro to my outro, Nathan.
You're welcome. Stay tuned for the outro to my outro to Lawrence's outro.
Can't wait. This has been another happy pod. We release episodes here. I'm so fucking tired, can you tell?
It's after midnight.
It is, and I've still got stuff to do.
I've got work in the morning.
Bloody Nora.
Not you. Yeah, you ain't got a job.
Listen, I have a job. I just choose to do it at 3 a.m. I forgot that. Yeah, we go. This has been another happy pod. You can catch new episodes here every Friday at 10 a.m.
Who's editing this?
Please, you. Please.
I think we should play a little game on air now to decide who's editing.
I can promise you if it ends on me editing, it will not be out by Friday.
Guess I'm editing then.
And that
you don't even have a fucking caravan to do this week.
It doesn't matter. I've taken on more work. Got to fill those pockets.
The amount of episodes I've edited.
I know you're getting close.
Close. It's a past.
Let me outro. This has been another Happy Pod. You can find new episodes here at 10 a.m. every Friday. Blah, blah, blah. Give us a review. Give us a like. Another Happy Pod. At Another Happy Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Words, la, la, la. Next week we're doing...
One thing about robbing banks is you're mostly robbing women, so the last thing you want to be is rude. Ma'am, it's nothing personal.
That movie. That was fun.
Oh, I didn't listen to last week's episode. Did you put in a clip of Batman?
I did, yeah.
What clip did you go for?
I can't remember. I think it was something along the lines of it was either the "you live long enough to die a bad boy" line.
That's another thing. There's so many lines from these movies that have just become like big quotable moments. Because like when I was watching The Dark Knight, I was just like, oh, like every fifth line is just something people say all the time now.
Yeah,
that's kind of
very
annoying.
true. Yeah. And it's the the hero that blank deserves, but blank doesn't get, or blank loves to be a hero, but loves to also kill people. Yeah, all of those quotes. Let me go to bed.
Anyway, Bane was a nonce. Bye.